Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe and Mr. Cool Bear, and today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of being a physical therapist or a physiotherapist. So let's get started. You ready? Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So a lot of people have been asking me, what do you like best about your job? Why do you like being a physical therapist? And so I wanted to kind of give you my pros and cons of being a physical therapist. So the number one reason is you get to help people. So if you enjoy helping people, if you like seeing people get better, it's a super pro because you get to spend a lot of time with your patients. I've had patients ask me, well, why don't you just go and get your medical doctorate? But you know, a lot of times medical doctors only get to spend about 5 or 10 minutes with their patients. I get to spend a whole hour with my patients, and you're not going to get that in every clinic, but you know, I really get to know the people and I really get to help them, and I really enjoy doing that. I also get to move around throughout the day and talk to people, and I don't have to sit in front of a computer screen and not talk to anybody all day. So that's another pro. I think that you don't have to just sit there. You get to move around, you get to exercise with your patients if you want to. So it's a lot of fun in that case as well. And just in general, if you like learning things, I learn new stuff every day, especially about the human body, anatomy, how things work, biomechanics. And so I just really love learning, and I think this profession is a really great profession that you want to keep continuing to learn, because you don't want to just learn what you learned in school and then never progress from there. So I really think that's a pro as well. But there are sometimes some cons to the physical therapy or physiotherapy side of it, and I know it's a little bit different in other countries where you're a physiotherapist, but here in the States, a lot of times one of the things that I hate the most is that you are sometimes limited by insurances. And so I'm treating somebody, and I might only be able to get to see them 1 or 2 visits because their insurance doesn't cover it, or they can't pay the out-of-pocket fees or the co-pays. And so sometimes that's a little frustrating because you're kind of blocked by those things. But sometimes you can work around it, and that's kind of why I made my channel, so I can help you out even if you're not in the clinic with me. But another thing that is not really a con, but sometimes it's just frustrating, is some people come to physical therapy and they don't buy into it. They just come in and say, my doctor told me I had to come here before I could get an MRI, so I'm here. And people don't want to get better sometimes, which is sad, but they might have secondary reasons, or maybe they've tried physical therapy once and it didn't work for them. So sometimes that's a little frustrating because you really have to get behind it. You have to want to get better to be able to get better, and so sometimes that's a little bit frustrating part of the job as well. But overall, I think if you're a person who likes to talk to people, if you like to interact with people, if you enjoy helping people, if you get that excitement of saying, man, I started with this patient, they couldn't even walk when they first came in, but now they're walking, they're maybe even running and exercising again. Or I've had patients who have suffered from strokes, and they their goal is to be able to pick up their grandchildren again, and by the time you're done with them, they're able to pick up their grandchildren and play with them again. And sometimes that's the best feeling, is knowing that you've helped somebody and you can kind of pat yourself on the shoulder and go, maybe I do know what I'm talking about. So it's definitely one of those professions that if you think you like that, I think it's worth looking into. Make sure you go and shadow some physical therapists or some physiotherapists, because different clinics are, different. You're not always just helping athletes. You're not always just helping older people. You're not always doing orthopedics. You're not always doing, neuro side of stuff. So, you're really doing a whole lot of different things. There's different settings. There's acute care in the hospital. There's, outpatient. There's inpatient rehab. So you really want to be able to see all that, because you don't always get to choose what you want to do in the beginning. So make sure that it's what you want to do, because it's tough, but it's definitely worth it. So if you have any questions about physical therapy or physiotherapy, you can put them in the comments, and if I know the answers, I'll try and answer them for you. So there you have it. Those are the pros and cons of being a physical therapist or a physiotherapist. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there, and don't forget to subscribe. But where should we click? Down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.